What's going on, y'all? My name is Paul Wiggins, and welcome back to a new iteration of Leadership Bites, in which we meet with one of our student leaders here at USC Aiken, learn a little bit more about what leadership means to them, how they got into leadership, and why it's important to be a leader on campus. So with that being said, let's go meet our next student leader. Okay, so can you give us your name and your year and your major?
Yes, my name is Haley Pineda. I'm a senior biology major with a concentration in molecular biology.
Cool. Okay, so our first question is looking at your leadership journey. So maybe like how it started, things that really developed along the way, maybe positions you've held now and that you held in the past, or things like that.
Yeah, leadership. I actually held a couple leadership positions when I was in high school. I kind of went back to back with year between being the freshman vice president and sophomore president for my student government. And I had that kind of experience when I was in high school, but then when I got here to college, I really wasn't involved in anything for the first 2 years. And then I took a Spanish class with Profesora Orozco, and she was kind of like pushing out that, there's no Hispanic student club, that would be interesting. And I was looking for something that I felt like I would, resonate with or identify with. So I saw that there wasn't one. And I was like, okay, I think I'm going to do it myself. So with the help of Profesor Orozco and two friends who have now graduated, David and Alani, we kind of just started doing like the backbone stuff of making the Hispanic Student Association, and so we finally did fall last year, and I thought it was so fun because it kind of was bringing my leadership from high school to college and pinpointing it to a community that I felt like needed representation and whatnot on campus.
Perfect. So my next question is, what does being a leader and what does leadership mean to you?
Being a leader is kind of like being someone who listens, who guides and empowers somebody who may think that they don't have a voice. It's not really about having control, but really just supporting a vision and emphasizing a community here on campus, specifically the Hispanic and Latino community, which hasn't been that out there. Now recently in this past year, I think, as we got a lot more Hispanic students, and so the organization has grown immensely, and it's make me so happy with kind of like empowering them and being a voice for them, but also like kind of pushing them to know that they have a voice here as well.
Yeah, being that advocate is a huge deal.
So huge. It's a very huge deal.
Okay, so one of the things I always love to ask is balancing. So how do you balance what you do here on campus with your organization with what you do in your classes and also when you're off campus?
Well, I'm a science major. They're hard, but they're super, super fun. I'm also I'm in the research lab here on campus under the guidance of Professor Dr. Mary Mills, and I think it's so much fun, but I definitely try to prioritize what I need to prioritize. Like specifically, if there's something going on with HSA, I make sure that's a point for the day that is on my to-do list. I'm so big on to-do lists and calendars and having everything organized, because on top of HSA, it's having to make sure that I'm organized with my lab research, and then with my schoolwork, which I think is like the most important thing, is making sure that I'm doing all of my assignments, studying when I need to study. So I kind of just use lists and calendars to help me keep track of everything.
Yeah, organization is huge when you got a lot going on.
Yes.
So my next question is, who are the role models you look up to and why do you look up to them?
Okay, my biggest role models are my parents. They have always and will always be my role models. They're immigrants from Mexico, so they've taught me firsthand what it means to work hard, to show resilience, and the true meaning of, sacrifice I see through them. And so kind of just seeing them go through life and working hard gives me that, I want to say, like, battery to keep going. So I think like most of all, my parents are my biggest role models.
For sure, yeah, that is a huge deal. Okay, so my last question for you is, why was it so important for you to make an organization around your culture? Or in other words, why was cultural leadership so important for you?
Yeah, I am definitely a very proud Mexican-American woman. I'm also first generation, so I kind of I know firsthand how hard it is to apply to college, not having anybody to ask for anything. So I thought it was very important to have the HSA here on campus. It's kind of like a resource for the students who were in the same shoes as I was. a lot of our families did not go to college, and so being the resource for these people on campus made me proud in bringing my culture, but also being helpful for other students similar to me. And also, even if they're not Hispanic or Latino, the HSA is open for everybody. So if they want to just kind of see what it is to be Hispanic or see what it is to be Mexican American or whatever country they come from, I think it's very important to show that there's differences, and we need to highlight the differences, but also include people so that they feel welcomed, and even if they're not Hispanic.
Right, bridging that gap is one of the best ways to connect. That's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
This has been our newest iteration of Leadership Bites. Hopefully you learn a little bit more about why including different cultures and being a cultural leader is important in different organizations. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.